Yeah, these are cool and all. But what if they were better? I'm PC Panda, and this is my survival world, and as you can see behind me, the hill is very empty. There were some trees on it, I took them down, and I think I want to try my hand at some custom trees. But I've never really done that before. So I'm going to try making some here in Creative before I fully commit to making them on my survival world. So just to be clear, this is not a tutorial, this is a learning experience. But first, a word from me. As a little side note, a couple of people have been commenting about wanting to see me stream. And for you, I have some good news here. Tomorrow, February 21st, I will be participating in a Gran Turismo 7 live stream over on the Cloud Infinite channel. If you've been with the channel for a while, you've heard about them, right? I've definitely mentioned Cloud Infinite a time or two, and done a couple collabs. Just to make it quick, I'll have the channel linked in the description, and I will see you during the live stream. Back to whatever it is I'm doing this time. But before I just start placing wood down, I want to look at some trees, and I can't think of anywhere better than Hermitcraft. Here we are in Hermitcraft Season 10 at Scar Zoo, and I mean, look at some of these. Like, look at that. Mud? I would have never thought to use mud. Oh my. These are really what led me to come into here. I mean, look at that. Look at how incredible some of these trees are. Now, I'm obviously not building anything like this. I'm not this level of insane. But even some of these, like, oh, look at that. What is it? Are those composters? Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. I am going to have to build one of these on my beach at some point. And that's a great idea too, using the cocoa beans as coconuts. Oh man. Candles as leaf effects? Oh my, this is all just so advanced. This is like top tier level treeing. But there is somebody who had done custom trees for really the first time in this season. And that person is Mumbo Jumbo. He built these trees, which even these look just way past my skill level. But considering this was his first go at custom trees, that gives me a lot of confidence. Because, you know, Mumbo, he is a great builder. But he's not known as a builder. He's known as a redstoner. And if he can do things like this, I feel like my confidence in my trees is going to be way better. Even the little things like using buttons as the notches in trees, trapdoors for some texture. There's a lot you can do here. Just the little things that really help out. And there is one more custom tree that I remember from this season that I want to take a look at real quick. I mean, look at this. This is one of the most beautiful Minecraft trees I have ever seen. And obviously, we're not going to go this big, but I mean, look at this little birch. Like, that's beautiful. You got, like, the whole layering of colors as you go in. See, that's not something I feel like I would have thought of if I didn't hop over into this world. Look at this. Even when this didn't have leaves, it looked incredible. See, this is more the size of the forest I'm looking to do. I kind of like the idea of the fence. Again, using tuff as bark, it does look a lot like bark. And I do think I'm going to be building kind of oak trees like this. Okay, this might be the best reference we have. Huh. The first type of tree I'd like to attempt to build is an apple tree. And they're pretty oddly colored, but as we saw in the other ones, they kind of start from a nice wooden color to kind of grayish, like the tuff, depending on, you know, the type of apple tree, obviously. But, I don't know. Is there a good block between these two? Because I think that's too brown, and that's just too gray. But I do like the rest of these transitional colors here. Maybe junglewood? Actually, junglewood kind of works. Alright, I think we have our block palette. Let's see what we can do. So it's very seldom trees just go straight up like they do in Minecraft, right? So I'm going to start by trying to get a shape here, right? That kind of works. Maybe. Actually, the apple tree that I'm familiar with IRL kind of splits at the middle like that and kind of spreads out. It's a little taller. I made it a little short here. But I kind of like that shape design. So if we kind of use that as our reference, we start, make it a little thick on the bottom, right? Then start mixing in our colors. No, actually, yeah, let's start mixing in our colors a little farther down and have brown on one little part. Okay. Actually, I'm not really liking the jungle at all. I don't know, it needs something else. It definitely needs something else. I think I'm gonna start putting leaves on it and see what happens. Right, because they're not the leafiest of trees either. Then we'll add apples on in the actual survival world if we do actually to go with a design like this. So, you know, this is all just proof of concept right now. Okay, I'm liking it from this angle. What about the others? Ugh, that's kind of plain. I do like that the branch is kind of peeking out of there. That gives it a lot of character. And now just imagine apples all over it. All right, I kind of dig it. Actually, one thing to do is break up the type of leaves. Right, because if they're all oak, it does make it look kind of flat. Here, add a little bit more down there. Oh, that adds way more texture than I thought it would. Oh, I love that. Oh, wow. And just one apple to show that's what we're making here. The trunk is still looking a little bare. Alright, let's go back to what Mumbo kind of did and add some trapdoors and buttons. Okay. It's a little strange, but especially if we take a step back, that looks nice. That looks so nice. Oh, I'm so impressed. I made this? I can't believe I made this. Now, I do only want 1 or 2 apple trees on Cherry Hill. Well, it can't really be called Cherry Hill anymore. It's not going to have any cherry trees. I really do like what B00 did with his birch tree by his house there. That had a diorite. I kind of want to build something like that, because they really do just kind of shoot up. And that is a tree you can just make straight up. And if I do a couple of those mixed in, it'll really fill out the hill. One more good look. Oh, even has a little glass mixed in there. Just kind of connecting the blocks. Oh, that's a good idea. And they don't just get darker as they go up. It's a mix of dark and light. Grass? Grass? Huh. Oh, that's bizarre. I don't know. I don't know about that one. With this one, I'm going to try to build it by mixing up the blocks as I build it. Right? Because if I'm building these in survival after this, that's going to be the way I want to do it. So I do want to kind of try and mix birch with diorite. Hopefully that'll give me some kind of nicer texture. One thing this is telling me for sure is keep a shulker box around of just the most random blocks, right? Oh, I think I'm going to just try to start putting leaves on it. And birch trees, the leaves are always very high, right? There's always a lot of trunk and then leaves. Alright, so I'm just going to try and put a layer of leaves and then come back down and see what happens. This one's not really working out. Ha. You know what? I think I need to take a step away and come back to this. A few days have passed, and I think I'm ready to attempt whatever the heck this is again. More importantly, I do believe I have decided what kind of trees I am going to put on my hill. And that's going to be autumn colored trees. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm struggling to even do these, but I think that's our final goal here. For starters, we're just going to knock this down. So for the autumn tree design, I actually do love this shape. Maybe a little taller. Well, yeah, definitely a little taller. So let's just grab this block palette and try building something similar. And to be clear, I do want to go back to the birch, but I want to see how the whole autumn thing could work. Okay, I like this base. Now, I don't know how I actually want to tackle this with getting the colors. I've never seen a autumn tree in Minecraft before that wasn't, based off a resource pack. I just kind of have a guess that the glass is involved. I was shocked with how little reference I could find on the matter. Like, was there a lot on Google? Yes. Not really what I'm looking for, though. The closest thing I found was a video where the trees were absolutely massive. Like I'm saying, the leaves started about here, right? And that's way too big for my little hill. So I just grabbed a miscellaneous block palette, and I'm just gonna kind of wing it. So ultimately you have to think, what color or what kind of tree are we doing here? Because I don't know if any of y'all live around areas with autumn, but I do. And the trees are either usually a mix of yellow and orange, pure yellow or orange, or pure red. And depending on what stage of dying, so to say, or going into hibernation that they are, they'll have a little green mixed in. And you can definitely see trees or branches sticking out of the trees through the leaves. So I think I'm going to just try and do a red mixed with green here and see what happens. I'm going to start with red and then sprinkle in the green after the fact. And I'm just going to go miscellaneous block here, there, and everywhere. Because if you have like a keyboard macro or a scroll wheel macro where it'll just automatically change blocks for you, this would be a perfect time for it. And when I actually set up the hill, I might have to set one up again. I haven't used them in years, but I haven't really had a need. And this is definitely what I'd call a need. I do think having the terracotta being the block of the most makes the most sense, since they are kind of all hinging more towards brown than red as the trees are starting to wilt away. I do like the idea of the core being a little more glass dense, so that way when you're walking underneath them, you do get more of a transparency going on. So I do think that means in the final product trees, we're going to want some more sticks and tough walls involved here and there, just sprinkled in. I think that sticking up branch may have been a bad idea, but say there was a smaller tree here that's kind of not quite rubbing up, holding it up, but even like merging right here, just have a yellower tree or something. I don't know. But with that, let's try sprinkling in a little bit of green. Now not too much. I really don't want too much. I just a couple things. But like I said in the... Ooh, this is too empty. Oh, glad I found that. Yeah, just those little colors. They really make a big difference. And the fences I really think are telling the bigger story here. I mean, for how cheap they are to really add. I'm liking it. I'm liking this a lot. The bigger question is at the end of it, can I make an entire forest of these in survival? We'll really have to wait and tell. I think I know why this looks goofy. It's not hanging, it's just kind of holding. I was looking at this, everything's kind of drooping a little bit. Even down in here, it's kind of drooping a little bit. Maybe even make it droop a little more. But that's what we need to do here. Make it droop. That really helped. It's not a big change, but it helped. It's definitely not a final product, I don't think. Like up in here, there's still a little bare spot. What if we just try and fluff it a little bit? I don't want to over fluff or I might lose my shaping here. These two trees, I'm pretty proud of them. But there is one more that we have to do, and that's that birch tree that I just got so stressed over. But do I want to make it a standard one or an autumn one like my final product's gonna be? I think we're gonna have to tackle them both. Alright, I got a couple ideas here. Different trunk shapes, because a lot of birch trees do just shoot straight up, but the real old ones do start to kind of floof out a little bit in a upside down triangle. Actually more like a diamond shape with all the leaves and whatnot. And I think I got that concept pretty well. Now let's hope the leaf part goes well. And we'll start with our basic colors. I really don't know what it is about these birch trees, but I just can't nail them down. Like, this just looks bad. Let's hop back over to Hermitcraft, see if I'm just not what part of this I'm really not grasping. Okay, I see the difference in this one. Instead of I'm just doing big ball clusters, these clusters are more like blankets, like layered blankets. And that breaks it up and lets you see through the tree without seeing through the tree. Going back to the stems, I mentioned a diamond shape, and neither of these have the diamond shape. Right? This one's close. This one you can kind of see the diamond. You know, with the leaves, I think I can turn that into a diamond. But this isn't a diamond. It's a V. Okay, now we have a diamond. I don't like that it's just straight up, but we're just trying to paint a canvas. And if we don't have something to put it on, then we need something. That's the moral of the story. We just need something. I'm just going to go through, do solid birch leaves, and we're just going to kind of try and angle the blankets, right? Angle our blankets. Don't be afraid to make them big, because we can always shrink them down. We have all the control of this project in the world. I think the hardest part here is going to be layering a blanket over a blanket without messing up the other blanket. Right? Because I don't want them to merge, but I don't want them to merge. It's definitely taking a better shape. It's not necessarily the shape I want. It's a better shape, though. Well, there is way too much tree going on in the center. And then as you can see from the back, it's not looking great. So we just have to poof it out, especially in the center here a little bit. So let's do that by trying to add more branches. You know what? I think just those two little extra blankets on the back side filled it out nicely. I do like that there's a little hole that you see the trees through from the one angle. And from here, it's still kind of bushy and full. I like that. Because, you know, trees have bare spots. They all do. I think that's a win. But that does leave us move on to our final challenge, the autumn birch. I do want this to be a little bit more transparent than this is. Looking at it more now, I wish there's some more glass in it, which we'll do with some of our future trees, hopefully. Birch trees are just a little bit more golden, so let's try and grab more yellows. Actually, I don't think I want any red in this or green. I think I just want pure, basically yellow with a little orange hue to it. Since I do want to go more transparent, I think I'm going to start by just blanketing in just glass. Get an entirely glass tree, then take a step back and take a peek at it. With pure glass, I'm liking the shape a lot. I really am. Now I got to try and go in and add probably just one color at a time, right? Actually, maybe even get rid of that block. Just a light on the solids. Or about as light on the orange as you can get, like 2 to 5 blocks. And I think that works perfectly. It just barely breaks it up, right? But the honey really is the star of the show here, right? And it's not too bushy. I might want another blanket around here. So let's see how that would work. Just one more blanket. Just kind of as a transitional block, really, to merge more of the terracotta with the glass. Because that's a beautiful transition. Wow, it really is. You can go through and replace 5 blocks, and it completely changes the rest of the build. Wow. Man, after, like, retrying this 100 times, I actually think these autumn trees are going to come out looking beautiful. And with that, I'm going to bring this episode to a close. Please tell me how you think I did, if there's any changes that you would make to these trees. Especially on these last ones, I didn't add like the little button details and whatnot. But I really want to know your ideas for when I go into my survival PandaCraft world and start building these things. While you're down there, hit that subscribe button so you can see the final outcome of our autumn hill. Then you have yourself a wonderful day. See ya!